Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cities by Steven. You're talking to Steven. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button. Get that bell notification on too, so you don't miss out on a video. Welcome back to the channel where last time we were here, we built up the waterfront. We really improved upon what we had already kind of done in the area. You started getting some taller buildings in this kind of central hub. We also got some trams in as well. So, overall, great improvement along the waterfront of our starting town. In today's episode, we are going to be improving the interchanges that we have in the city. We're going to be kind of adding on to / improving one of them, and then we'll be entirely reimagining the starting interchange that we have. This is going to have a huge impact on what we're going to be doing going forward. So I'm really looking forward to kind of getting that started and diving into this. If we have time at the end of the episode, after I've built the interchanges, I think we'll look at some road hierarchy and add in some nice detailing to the roads, adding in some trees, changing up the main roads, a little bit of a beautification project, I guess. But that'll be at the end. So let's hop out and take a look. So yeah, here is the waterfront. This is kind of like the pier area. So the idea here is that there was an old railway that ran through here, which we took out, and you can still see the impacts of the old right-of-way. So there's this big gap in the middle where they've added some condos in over here, but there's all this industrial land that they've turned into a museum, park, another museum as well, a tram ferry hub over here, and some fun piers as well. So I've gone through what we did last episode in these blocks, and I've kind of made sure that all the buildings kind of look nice together by going through Find It and whatnot. So yeah, I think this looks really nice. And the main kind of idea here is the mixing of industry, commercial, and residential in a situation where changing the zoning is really difficult in real life in this type of area. But also, if we're looking at the city from over here, way it slopes down towards the water, the height of the building goes up. So we kind of have this really nice, city skyline. So what are we going to be doing today? Well, all the way over here, we have some interchanges. This one we built early on in the game just to kind of get access to. Diamond interchanges over here. It's cheap to build, so that's why we built it. But there are some challenges now with this, so we're going to improve upon this one. That's what we'll start out off with. And there's this interchange, which we're not going to touch today because there's no real importance that I can see of improving this one right now, but in the near future, we definitely will. This one, I believe we're going to turn into some sort of system where we can have access into our industry zone over here as well, but while not taking out the idea that this is a pretty major corridor for cars that are going in these directions. But this is the interchange that we're going to be reimagining. This is the starting interchange, and things have changed since we started this. For one, we have a railway right-of-way running through here, which has severed the land entirely. So we can't really access this part of the city. So we're going to need to make sure that we can improve upon what we have currently, so that we can have a quick and easy access into the zone, because we might turn this into some sort of important land use, right? It could be a cargo station, for example, which will definitely need a lot better traffic support than if we were to just kind of continue on as we currently have. Another factor is I really want to get a road running from this one, which runs right down the heart of the city, alongside of this lake, which I'm assuming is the lake that the map is named after, Oracle Lake. But it'd be nice if we could get a road, kind of maybe it turns into a frontage road along the lake, but what if we could even connect it up over to this very large industrial diamond interchange? So in a way, we're going to kind of connect up the city in ways that we currently don't have. So, and then we're going to get our landfill out over here. So that'll be really easy to get to just right down the road here, right into Port Roberts. So, and then the road beautification is just basic roads. So, and there's some bike roads. So I would like to get some roads with some trees on it and whatnot. For just in the main core of Port Roberts, really. So, looking at what we have a bit of demand here. We have residential demand, commercial demand, and industrial demand. We have some residential demand, which is good, and we have, we're getting towards the next milestone of big city. So I think while we're doing this, it wouldn't hurt if we were to just kind of zone up a little bit right before we start. All right, so that is all the kind of the zoning that I'm currently going to add in. Just in areas that I know are going to be just clean, basic, low density residential. All right, so moving over here, what is the main issue with this interchange? We did build it pretty recently, so why do we need to upgrade it? Well, we built it just kind of as a quick stopgap to get an interchange access over to this highway, because before we only had this interchange going, but now we're getting a ton of industry traffic. There is some challenges though. We can't just kind of blow up this interchange and make it into some massive clover or something like that, because we have a railway right of way through here. That ain't moving anytime soon. So how do we fix this? Well, we see that there's a ton of traffic that's coming off the highway here, which looks like we need to do some bit of TMPE work on this to make sure that the trucks aren't going from the far left lane off here. But we can see that there's just a backlog of trucks that are trying to turn left. That slows down traffic when cars need to turn left. So what's something we could do? Well, we can try and get them to turn right. So what if we were to reimagine just this side of this diamond interchange and turn it into some sort of park-low interchange? So we can get the off-ramp to start right over here, and then we can get a bit of a loop around where we can split the traffic turning right, and then we have a less demand turning right, or sorry, turning left. We could also leave leave this off-ramp here for cars to turn right, but I think we can get away with having the main loop here. Then we can have the on-ramp, for example, be sneaky like this, or we can kind of get it over here to get onto the highway. So lots of possible changes. Let's see what we can come up with in this speed through. All right, so here is the improved interchange, and I think it's going to work out fantastically. Just watching this kind of sim a little bit really shows me that it's going to work out really well. Having all this traffic turn right coming off of the loop here is just fantastic. They slide right on with a yield as well, so it works out fantastically. The only thing I'm a little worried about is cars that are going straight through the interchange, so we might need to do something about that, provide an alternate route or something along those lines, because this is a very realistic looking interchange now, and I think this will work out great. And there's one thing that I missed, and that is with TMPE right here, to make sure that all the cars go in their proper direction. So yeah, I think this looks really cool. I really enjoy kind of how we have this little teeny national highway piece here, and it turns on to this three lane 2+1 road to kind of share the road here to kind of create this mini parklo. And yeah, I think this looks really cool, and it's realistic for the challenges that the rail poses. Now, if I am to get a bypass, a lot of the trucks that are going through here are turning into this industry zone. So one thing that we could do is maybe see that we could get a road from here underneath these rails and the highway and connect up to here. So I think we can do that really quickly. So let's just grab any basic road, because I think that's all that we really need for this. We could go with like a national highway piece or something like that. That could definitely make things go a little faster. But we'll keep it straight to about here, but we'll go down a little bit. So we'll go down to 3 units from here, maybe a bit more, 6 units. So that is pretty steep down there, but that's okay. And then we can connect up this road here even down to this one. That is fantastic. Let's just remove all these trees because they're just gonna get in the way, aren't they? Okay, and then now we can even make this industry, which is great. Why don't we just remove all of these so we have some clean, like a whole clean block of industry zoning. And then from here over to here, let's do that, keeping in mind with what we currently had with 3 deep zoning. And yeah, okay, so from this point, I guess we could go with the national highway. That could work. Maybe it'll encourage people to use it a little bit more as well. From this point, we can go either into a tunnel or just stay at ground level. And we're just going to stay at ground level. So now we can then, instead of tunneling, we could make these elevated. This will help with some size issues with the trucks and whatnot. The tunnels work, but cheaper just to do it this way, I would imagine, than maintain a tunnel. So yeah, let's just grab these. Let's maybe make sure that the nodes are all in line. Yeah, that's gonna work out. So we'll go elevated for these ones here. All right, and then we will just curve underneath the elevated pieces right here. And from this point, let's turn on our guidelines and we'll go clean curve. And oh, it looks like we're gonna need to not make it so clean, but just underneath all these road pieces, we'll make it straight, and then we can just connect up. All right, so let's take a look at these heights now. So we have this node here, we have this node here. This one is going to really tell us a lot about the heights that we need. So it's a bit tight in there. Hopefully we can see it. We just lower it down to about there. I think we should be fine. So let's now slope it off of that node that we just sunk down into the ground. 5%, that's fine. And then we'll just make sure that this node here same height as this one, so Control H on move it. There we go. And then we can go from here up to here. That is an 11% grade. That is not going to work out. So we'll go all the way over to there. 5.3 is good. So that means we need to move this landfill. So I think we can do that at the end of the episode when we get access over to here. So it's not just about roads today. Okay, so now we can do a bit of smoothing to kind of show that this is not just so rigid and whatnot. A bit of erosion or something like that. Yeah, I think that looks good for me. And then we'll go into this tree brush and we'll get some trees along the sides here. All right, so I'm realizing we're probably gonna need to move these right now. So I've upgraded this to the National Highway, and it's just kind of a bit of a bypass, an industrial bypass, but also it's kind of like an Oracle Bay bypass at the same time. So this street here, Walker Street. Let's see if you all can come up with a name suggestion for Walker Street in the comments. There's no way that that's Walker Street. Walker Street will go right through here. So this will be like the Oracle Bay bypass, but I'll leave this name up in the comments. Maybe this road too? I don't know, because I think this road is better to be kind of the same as this one. This is maybe a newer bypass connection. Yeah, that makes sense. So then this street is actually... Oh, this is Monarch Avenue. Okay. Holy moly. Don't want to mess that up. Yeah, Monarch Avenue. Okay. So that goes all the way out here, apparently. All right, so let's move all of this. Let's go down this Monarch Avenue, if it is going to be the same, past two of our industry zones. We get back to our other interchange over here, our very large diamond interchange built for all the trucks that are going to be using this. And we need to figure out a way to get across to this side, because this will not only play into this garbage dump today, but also into a connection over to here. So let's take a look at the topography right now, because I'm pretty sure we're just flat. All right, so I guess the best thing for the trucks here is to probably go elevated. I honestly, I don't think there's a wrong decision here. We can go elevated above these rails, or we can go below it. Now we do kind of have a bit of a dip over here. So I don't really mind going below the rails. Yeah, let's go below. All right, so we have this road coming into here. And what I'm thinking of is that this road could even continue off into this direction or something like that. But we'll get kind of like a turn off into the landfill. Now, this is not going to be a landfill build today. If you're new to the channel, what I like doing is I like really segmenting out the builds. Even though this is a Let's Play channel, kind of keeping everything condensed into one kind of style helps me. And I hope it is also found to be helpful for you all, keeping things kind of all in one general theme per episode. Let's try and get this on like a cool angle here. So that's going to be where all the trucks are going to go. And then from here, let's turn this into some national highway. I think we have a rural road that is, yeah, 2-lane country road. I think this is going to be the best bet for this. And let's go into our topography here. Let's just check out what this looks like. Yeah, okay, I don't think I'm gonna build this out at all, to be honest. So let's go from about here and just go straight actually for a little bit. And then we'll just curve it off into the wide unknown, which we will tackle at some point. All right, I actually don't think that's going to really work out that well, but we'll leave it for now. Okay, so coming off of here, what we'll do is we'll just kind of go straight with some sort of industry road. I guess just the basic one works. Let's check the topography really quickly, just so we get a somewhat of a realistic sense of what's happening. Okay, so we're gonna go into 2 different directions probably because of this slope, and just so you know, all of this is 100% subject to change for when we build our actual landfill in the future. But I think this is a good little start. Okay, so we're gonna go all the way over here, and we're going to move all of these landfills. So, quick way to do it, if you have mods. If you don't, you're gonna need to empty these. But if you have mods, just select them with Move It here. And then you just go to Reset Objects. There you go. And then now you can move them all individually. Could have just moved them with Move It as well. But that's just a fun little hack. All right, so just to plop them down, really, that's all I'm looking for. Just plop them down, nothing fancy, because we'll do all the fancy stuff at a later time. So while we're at it, I'm thinking of adding in a bit more to our current capacity. So I think that will probably do us for now. That looks horrible, right? It's because it is. It does not look good, because that is not the point of today's episode. We need to now think about how we're going to connect up this with this. Kind of the main focus of this episode. While this was fun, this is the true jewel of the episode, because this is going to be a major interchange, oh my goodness, with our city. So what are we going to do? Well, we have a ton of options. We could do something like full clover, par clover. We could do a diverging diamond even. That could be cool. But I'm thinking of kind of doing like some sort of sunken interchange parklow type thing, with maybe even with a roundabout attached to it. It's going to be some sort of hybrid-esque interchange here. But I think the main theme of it is that we're going to sink this highway a little bit. This is going to kind of do a few things for us. One, it's going to hide the highway from, view, especially if we start building up over here with housing or something like that. That could be cool. Two, it's a common theme from what I've seen on Google Maps that when a major avenue is intersecting, rather than it be a full-blown interchange, it's kind of like almost like a hidden interchange in a way. Now I'm not gonna do that really, but yeah, I don't know how else to describe what I'm about to do. Parklow-esque type sunken interchange with a roundabout. Let's start off by deleting everything up to here, because this is going to be this road, Highway 15 or something. Yeah, look at that. It is Highway 15. Is just going to stay at the same level pretty much all the way over here. This is because of this lake. If I were to elevate Highway 15 or sink Highway 15, we're getting a bit too close to the lake. So that's why I was thinking we could sink this road and keep all the ground over here at lake level or higher than lake level. Now, this lake does have a drainage system that we could tap into. So if it were to overflow a little bit, it does have a system in play where all the water would go out into the Oracle River. So that's why I don't really mind having the highway sunken. If Highway 15 was sunken, it might get a little risky in real life. So what do you need to do to start off? Hope that all made sense, by the way. Let's start off by just deleting the interchange entirely. Yeah, I don't really mind deleting all of that as well. And we'll delete it all the way to here. Now, we placed these roads in the very first episode at the very start of the series when I forgot to pause the game and we wasted a ton of money right off the bat. So let's take Highway 15. We'll just use this road type for now. And we are going to go to ground level right away, because this is going to be very important. Let's look at the topography here. And okay, so let's just smooth it out just very briefly before we get going to this height. Oops, this height. There we go. Bring this all the way to here. All right. Any other points of issue where we need to smooth some things out? Smooth all this height. Then we get to this point here. Okay, that leaves us a good marker for the road. All right, so now let's bring this road in on a fun curve to kind of create some fun, unique, bends in the off ramps and on ramps. Let's actually go freeform. I think freeform is probably the best bet here. So I wanted to go straight all the way to about this point. That was the idea of using the curved road tool. And then now we'll just go freeform to about here. Yeah, that works right there. And then we'll curve it all the way out to here. Now, to stay in theme a little bit, let's connect this road up to this one. So at some point, we're going to need to change the grade down to a smaller grade road, I believe. I don't have to, actually. Yeah, I don't have to. But how do we build roads just kind of willy-nilly like this, right? Well, looking at the topography definitely helps. But I think we said Highway 15 is an original highway in the area. So it can be kind of, original kind of country road in the area. So it can be kind of winding and diving a little bit, but it's a bit more of a modern one. You'd probably expect that it would stick to a straighter connection, a connection that involves the least amount of effort, really, or sorry, not effort, money. So yeah, trying to avoid these trees pretty much is what I'm kind of planning on. And then let's sync up with this road here. All right, so these curves make for some fun opportunities to get some unique road connections. Perhaps this is the original highway that this one kind of removed the need for. So we could kind of lean into that with a continuation of this road this way or something at some point. So yeah, I think this opens up a ton of opportunity going forward, especially now that we've access to this side of the highway here. So that is definitely fun. Now, when we redo this one, this interchange, I'm going to include a rail option in that interchange, which is why we are not doing this one today. It's going to be a whole process involving rails and the industry area. And yeah, if you're wondering why I didn't connect up those rails back in the day up to here, that is because I'm planning on incorporating it with this interchange through here and up, probably over top or something. We'll figure out how it connects over here down the line. That's not important today. I don't know why I'm talking about that. All right, so here we are. We have our flat surface area. We need to then sink this highway underneath it. So I guess we really probably shouldn't have deleted those road pieces because I think the best way for us to do this is to just connect these two up like so, and then find this piece right here, elevate this just like that, probably that one too. And now we need to find the two nodes that are closest to this intersection between these two systems. We can lower it down, find this node here, bring it over so it's in the middle, and whoa, is that deep enough? Yes, and we're gonna leave it like this. This is exactly how it's supposed to be. A big, huge dip. If you're going over the speed limit, you fly and you crash into the elevated road. All right, so moving on. No, we're gonna fix this up, don't worry. So let's slope it from this node here because this is kind of the height that we need it to get to. And let's back it up to here and let's see how the slope is. So 3.9%, that's a little steep still. So let's back it up 2 more, 2.8%. That's still probably a little steep. I prefer closer to 2. There we go. So we'll go all the way down to there, and then all the way back to here, 2.6. It's pretty much the same. And then same thing over onto this side. So let's see how many nodes we went. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Over to here. 2.4, nice. And then the same thing from here over into this node. 2.6, look at that. Very, very cool. So we have kind of a sunken interchange a little bit, and then it gives us enough space to deal with this in the future, should we need to sink or raise this portion of the highway. Okay, so what is next? Well, we have pretty simple access over to this side. It's pretty short, so we could easily get a connection onto here. Or we're going to run into the same problem we just had with our last interchange, where we're going to have lots of traffic waiting to turn left. But that is going to happen on both instances. So I think we could get an off-ramp here, split it for right-hand traffic. So it'd be Highway 15 north or something like that, and then we'll have the other one go underneath and curve around or something like that. So we could do that, and we could do something similar for this side as well. So this is kind of where the park low-esque type stuff comes into play. Now, where are we going to incorporate a roundabout? Well, that might have to be in this pocket right here, because we could run a road from over here, for example, into here, and then same thing into here. And then we're going to run into a bit of an issue, though, because that's a light in the middle of an interchange, or at least really close to an interchange. So we might throw a roundabout in here to kind of help the traffic flow a little bit. Okay, so I think we'll start off with those two. Whoa, look at all that. Flying vehicles. So yeah, so I think we'll start off with those two kind of park low-esque type systems, and then I'll talk to you in a bit when we start looking at the next step. All right, so here is the first kind of step on it. I think I overdid it with the lanes through here. We'll come back at the end. So these are the off ramps from the highway. So what do we got going on here? We're coming from this direction, and we're wanting to go towards Oracle Lake or the dump over here. We can get off the highway here. We'll work on the road anarchy in a bit. The lane mathematics, that's the word. And then, so we get off here, then we go towards Oracle Lake, or if we want to go towards Port Roberts, we take the loop, and then we're on Highway 15. Going from this direction over here, and we're going towards Oracle Lake. We get off the highway here, and we do the big loop, and we're on Highway 15. Then we're going on to the off the highway here to get to Port Roberts. Well, pretty quick and simple over here, and we yield to Highway 15. And next thing we know, we are downtown. So what is next? Well, we need to get from Highway 15 on to this major highway here. So what are our options? Well, we have an intersection already right here where we could easily swing down over into this direction. We can already get through to Oracle Bay by going straight. So the next step is to figure out where we're going to get an on-ramp on to this side going in this direction. And I think that is really the trickiest part. We could probably run it off of here and then follow it down. I think is probably our best bet. Do the same thing. We'll try to follow the road here a little bit as well. And this kind of plays into the next step, which is maybe thinking about a roundabout. Now, if we're going to build this intersection perfectly, we don't really need the roundabout right here, but I think it would be fun to do because, one, there's tons of roundabouts in the themed area that we're looking at, which is the Vancouver area, right off of highways. So I'm kind of looking at this whole area, and if we put a roundabout here, what's really the purpose of splitting the traffic up? Right? So maybe we don't actually need this loop, which would save us a ton of space in the end. So I guess I need to talk it out with you all, because I think it's best if we get the roundabout here. We have the traffic flow into it, and then maybe we even have a bypass of the roundabout for right-hand traffic. All right, yeah, for traffic turning right down Highway 15. And then this saves us a ton of space over here as well. So yeah, let's call a bit of a mulligan on that. But off of the roundabout, we can then swing down connection into the highway. But then on this side, I think the best bet here is to probably get an on-ramp over here. So let's start with this, because it's the easiest. We've done it a bunch of times, and then we'll come back to the roundabout in a second. All right, so there we go. We'll work on Highway 15 in a bit. Just getting the lanes right. But yeah, there we go. So we have a pretty simple little connection into here. I see that there are some bushes here that didn't get removed. There we go. Yeah, so pretty simple enough. Traffic will have to wait at this light here to turn onto the highway, but that's okay because over on this side, it's a really smooth right-hand turn. I was thinking of even splitting them up, the right-hand access and the access going this way. But I think this is a-okay, especially because I don't think there's going to be a ton of traffic going in that direction, because there might be another intersection over here, which will sneak a lot of the traffic over from here onto it. Maybe even an access point from this roundabout that we're about to go into, but I doubt that. It is pretty tight, so maybe I'm making stuff up. We're running out of space over here, it seems. Okay, so pretty big interchange here, but it works, and I'm excited to actually kind of remove this because it is pretty large, isn't it? So let's just remove this whole thing. Yeah, never be scared to delete something you've done. And I know that, it's a bit weird, someone posting YouTube videos and they're just making mistakes, but it's all part of the process of building a city, right? And I'm not going to hide that from you all. Because I thought that might work. Turns out it doesn't. So I want to share that with you. Okay, so let's just delete this section in through here. And let's build a roundabout right in the gosh darn middle. So let's go with a 3-lane road for the roundabout. I guess that makes sense. So we'll go, that's a 4-lane road. Where is the 3-lane one? Here it is, 3-lane road, no parking. So what is the best way to build, or what is the best way to build a roundabout? Well, there are plenty of options on how to build them if you don't have any of the tools. My favorite is to just take some dirt roads, go right down where you need them, find the middle here, which we'll just say is right about here because it's not incredibly important. I'm actually going to lean towards this side actually because I want the extra space for the curved roads for the on-ramp. So we'll go right about here. All right, so there we have it. I think this is pretty interesting. Um, I kind of like that we're doing something different, but will this actually work out? I don't know, because the traffic might get a little gnarly, right? So I think one big thing that we need to do is work on the roundabout itself, including moving the access roads over a little bit. Um, so I know I just deleted the locked in nodes, so maybe I need to reinstate those for a second. All right, so that should smooth some things out a little bit better, right? So let's do a bit of tweaking and whatnot. The angle of approach on this one is a lot sharper than this one, so I will kind of want to at least somewhat copy that. All right, so we need to go into Traffic Manager because this will allow us to set up the roundabout to be a roundabout and not just a bunch of roads. So we do that to set up the yield signs. We do this to make sure that there's dedicated turning lanes on each one. Some help holding control down and clicking. There we go. And then we go into this one here and remove the crosswalks and say go through. Now, I don't really mind having crosswalks on the sides of it because that does make sense, like here. But it doesn't make sense to have crosswalks in the middle. I don't want people crossing into the middle of my roundabout. All right, so this is looking real cool. So we have 4 lanes going into 3, which works with me. This doesn't look right. There we go. Uh, and then we have 3 lanes going to 2 over here. So yeah, I think this will work out. Let's go into node controller because these nodes here should really be pulled back a bunch. Not that much. Let's make it an even 16. All right, fantastic. So now this is set up real good. Looking at it like this, it looks pretty cool, right? It has the roundabout over here and it kind of has another circle over here, but this is not a roundabout, but it kind of looks like it's the same sort of shape as well. So let's do a bit of work on these roads. So we have 4 lanes, we have 4 lanes. We don't really need those extra lanes that I added in. However, right here, we kind of do. So I would like to go to a road that has 3 lanes and 2 lanes. So that is this one here. And if we want this one to be 4 lanes, we're going to need to have this. We're going to need to merge from this road onto here. So that's why we need 3 lanes. Just like that. And we can go one further. And then we need to merge into 2. Actually, I almost want to not do that entirely. But then over here, we need 3 lanes because we are we have a dedicated turn here. And then over on this side, we're going to need the same thing. But over there and right here, we don't need that extra lane at all. so we can go down to a simple 4-unit road like this. All right, so we're at this node here, and there are a few things that we can do. Mainly, I think we're just squaring up the node. I don't really love the idea of crosswalks on this. So we'll do remove crosswalks, go through. We'll have technically a crosswalk here. You can't see it though. And we'll leave all of this open. But we know where we're going because we can see the turning arrows here. So we don't even need to really do TMPE either, which is good. There is a bit of a bump right here. So let's go into move it here because this is a node itself, I believe. There we go. All right, so we need to go and decorate this one now. And then we're onto this section here, which we can square off and then go into traffic manager, remove the crosswalks because we don't need them, tell cars to go through as well. And then we'll tell cars to yield right here. Okay, so we do need to have dedicated lanes, commanded lanes. What's this? Lane arrows. That's what it is. That is the correct word. And because we don't want cars to turn right here, because the whole point of this is that the cars are turning right here, and that means that one goes there, and then this one here we can go into both. There we go. Makes sense. And we also need to decorate this one then. All right, so this is looking real good. Let's just do a few quick things here. So on this side, we have 4 lanes. 4 lanes going into 3 plus 1, 3 plus 1 going into 4. So let's fix all this up on both sides because it should be the exact same. All right, so I'm running out of time, so I'm not going to do the detailing on over here and over here. I'll do that off camera because I really want to just figure out where these roads are going to go, because there's a whole main purpose of this roundabout, right? So let's figure out where this road could go. And then we'll have to call it because I ran out of time on my recording session. These took a little longer than I was expecting. Now I should have known that, so I'm sorry about teasing a beautification of the roads situation, but we'll definitely get to that next episode. So we'll bring out this, and I guess if we are to get some sort of cargo station back here, maybe, or if it's going to be a park or something like that, we're going to want space. I do also think that we could connect up some of these roads here. So this one is what street? 14th Street. So let's connect up 14th Street across here. That will definitely be important for realism and traffic flow in this game. So we'll go above ground here, just like that, 10 units, and back down to ground level. Or we can connect up with that road. And then maybe let's get one more that goes across. So 14th, 12th, so 8th Street. 8th Street goes all the way down to the waterfront, so this one would be really cool to get up here. So let's go up 3 meters so that we can go across here very smoothly. All right, so there we have some connections over onto this side from the main Port Roberts grid. So we're looking real good through here, and then we can just bring these ones across even farther down the line. All right, so here is the final detailed kind of interchange here. So I just put some rocks and some forest in the middle here, and also decorated all the edges with our forest brush because we'll just take it out when we use it. But I think that it looks pretty darn cool, especially when we kind of pan out of the city here. I think it is pretty unique, and we're ready to kind of expand into this area using these two road connections. So Highway 14 and what is that? And 8th Street. So I think these connections are really good to have into here because I don't think there's going to be many opportunities over here. So having those two and then the roundabout being the third connection into here is great. And then over here, we can do something similar as well, getting access onto this point here. So that'll also really help free up Highway 15 from some traffic. So I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoy these interchange episodes. It's a shame there's not like a bunch of interchanges in every city because they are a ton of fun to build. And we set ourselves up really nicely for the future here. Now we didn't get all the way into the episode. Is there really no zoning happening over here? That's okay. We can figure out why in the future, probably because of the demand, and there's nothing going on over here. So we'll have to fix that next episode. And then this is what we did at the start here. Just a quick little simple interchange upgrade, which seems to really be working looking at all these cars right now. So that is good to see. Okay. So, and then we also made this connection over here where all our garbage trucks are going. And with this toll booth here, we're going to make a bit more cash as well. So that is always, always good. So we've incorporated this one a bit better into the city. We've improved this one. And this was the pièce de la résistance. So here we have it. Have a wonderful day, folks. Talk to you soon. Peace out.